guys, Icekraks here. Today it is another Tune Tuesday. We're here to tune the Godzilla, the bad boy, the big Godzilla, the R35. More importantly, the 2011 Black Series. I think it's the Black 2011 GTR R35. There is a 2017 R35, but I didn't use that. I went and used the 2011 R35 because I know this car a little bit better. But we're here to tune this 3.8 litre V6 monster twin turbo badass VK56. Is it VR? I don't know. Not VK56. Damn it, VK56 is from the Tide. VR38. It's the VR38 DETT twin turbo setup, hand built by special Japanese engineers for Nissan, and it is each engine has an engine plaque of the engineer that built the car, built the engine, and yeah. We're here to tune it, we're here to hack the ECU apart, and we're going to turn this into a drift monster. So first of all, we're going to throw the whole drivetrain out. We're gonna make this thing a rear-wheel drive thing, because unfortunately, all-wheel drive doesn't just cut it. All-wheel drive doesn't cut it, it's sure. All-wheel drive's mad for racing and stuff like that, and mad acceleration, but we're not here to do that. We're here to do drifting. We're going to convert it to rear-wheel drive, get that rear-wheel drive setup going. We're not going to throw the Liberty Walk kit, because I got a bit sick of it after a while, looking at it. There's so much in the way of kit. I sort of prefer the stock kit. I like the stock vehicle as it is. Liberty Walk, honestly, it's your fancy if you want. I do like the huge wang of Liberty Walk, that huge wing on the back. Why not? Got to go over the top a little bit over the top. For rims, for tire compound, left it stock because it already is sticky, very sticky as it is. We don't want too much grip, because once you have too much grip, you can't drift the thing. It becomes a track monster. So the rims were used. Let me go find them. I don't actually know where they are, so I'm going to skip through it, and eventually I'll find these rims. I think Alright, we have found the rims. They're actually in the multi-piece rims. These are the rims I like to use. These are the OZ Racing Superleggera 3 Forge rims. Obviously it says gain 14 kilos, but I don't give a crap. It looks cool. It's got a massive dish. It looks awesome. So we're going to throw those on. The 14 kilograms extra. We also increased it to 21-inch rims. Get those big rims. Get those big rims, thin, skinny tires on. Anyway, doesn't matter. We're going to get that racing clutch on, racing gearbox, racing driveline, racing everything. This is pretty much a racing build, to be honest. It is going to be a drift monster that I'm going to tweak to perfection. I have the tune ready and to go, so we're going to have racing everything. I'm going to go skip through all this, so yeah. I'll catch you on the other side when I throw everything, when I throw all the racing. The only exception to this is I did not upgrade the ball bearing turbos. I did not make them racing turbos because I found they made too much power, and whenever you get drift and you get on the throttle, it kicks in, gives you too much torque, it spins you out. You don't really want it, so I went racing intercooler, racing oil cooling, and racing flywheel, and that's it. So the only thing I did not upgrade was racing turbo because it gave a little bit too much power. I think I put the wrong component on, so I sort of skipped ahead a little bit. Yeah. Anyway, that aside, so we have an R35 that is tuned up, that is built up, actually, with all these racing components. It looks mad. We're going to tune this monster. It is going to cost me a little credit. What did I put on extra? I put on something extra. Yeah, racing chassis and roll cage. Honestly, it doesn't matter. You can throw the roll cage in. You don't have to throw the roll cage in. It's up to you. You can throw it in however you want. Now, we're going to tune this monster, because this is where the fine tuning begins. I had a lot of trouble tuning this thing many months ago when I actually wanted to do this car. I never really got around to doing it, but now we are doing it and we're tuning it properly. So drop the tire pressure to 1.2. Gearing is 3.30 for final drive ratio. It is obviously a little bit on the high end, a little bit more towards the top speed. It's pushing all the gears out because I'm having all the other gears more aggressive, to 3.15 first gear, 2.12 for second gear, 1.52 for third gear, 1.18 for fourth gear, 0.93 for fifth gear, and 0.78, which I left stock for sixth gear, because you're not going to be using fifth and sixth gear unless you're going down like a massive bank. I don't know. But as you can see, first, second, and a little bit of third. I didn't really tweak third that much. First, second, I made them more aggressive, getting on the power more quickly, so I can get more torque at all those lower speeds. Get on the power, basically. For the camber, I gave it a crap ton of camber. I gave it 3 degrees of negative camber up front and gave it 0.5 degrees, or I left the stock as it is, rear camber. I also gave it 1 degree toe outwards on the front, so I can get those tires to point outwards, to poke outwards, and to give me more steering angle, basically. I want more steering angle into this. And I dropped the caster to 5.7 so I can make use of that camber, make it a little bit more usable. For anti-roll bars, I dropped it all the way down. The front anti-roll bar, pretty standard, you drop it all the way down to 16 I dropped it down to 16 point something, I don't know what I did, 15.79, I have it written down actually, and the rear anti-roll bar to 24.78. If I can scroll all the way down to that number, that is. Springs, I dropped it a little bit, made it a little bit less stiff, but still pretty stiff, 151.4. Made them a little bit softer, so you can maybe just get a little bit more roll, but honestly, it's pretty negligible when it comes to spring rate. It's not really that great. You're only really decelerating and stuff. It's only really affecting when you're racing. It's not so much that useful in drifting. Rebound stiffness and dampening is where it is very critical to get this right, because you have to get it very soft. You have to be able to get the thing soft to be able to run over curb and stuff. So the rebound stiffness, I went down to 6.1 and 8.1 for the front and rear rebound stiffness. So I dropped it all the way down there. I scrolled all the way past 8.1. And for the bump stiffness, I dropped it down to 5.1 and increased the rear to 6.1. I basically made the thing a little bit stiffer. I don't know, I like it a little more stiffer. It gives it a little more leeway when it comes to things. Brake bias, I changed it to 60%. 150 brake pressure, get those front tires to lock up, get the car to rotate quickly, get it to turn around quickly, and the differential, my favorite preference is 80-60, you can do 100-0, 100-something, I don't know, you can have the whole thing locked up. If you really want both deceleration and acceleration, it is a two-way diff, you can do it however you want. Personally, 80-60 is my number. I like to get on the power and still be able to adjust the drift as I go. I also play on a controller, so it is a bit funky when it comes to playing on a controller when it comes to drifting. If you're doing it on a wheel, I would probably advise to do 80, maybe less on the deceleration. I don't know. Anyway, that is the tune. We're going to take this car to drift around my favorite location, which is Surface Paradise. I like Surface Paradise because there's a lot of 90-degree turns, and there's a car park I like to slide. So I'm going to go for that, and I'll catch you guys. Here we are in Surface Paradise, driving through all this traffic. Turns out there is a lot of traffic around Surface Paradise. R35, by far probably one of my favorite JDM cars, or just the Skyline in general. I am a massive Skyline fanboy. I believe last week's vlog I did had it featured a 2017 R35. That was the sort of the thumbnail picture slash, I think it was a thumbnail picture actually, yeah. It was the thumbnail picture of the video of the vlog. It was a 2017 R35. Don't know why it rocked up the car meet, but it was there. It was cool. It was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool, small car meet, but it was a pretty crazy one. It was a meet and cruise. We went all the way down to Wollongong, and that, I'm going to put that in an annotation card in the top corner if you want to watch that. It'll be there if you want to watch it as well, see what I've been up to. Last week I did a Toyota Supra RZ drift tune, that'll also be in the annotation card above, and yeah, that is basically what I did last week. I didn't really do that much in the way of videos, because I wasn't motivated that much to make a video. I was pretty tired, I just was burned out, so just jumping back in it, getting back in the action, getting back in the group. Also, a little status update, university starts next week, which is sort of sucky. I have to get back into studying, doing things like that. So I may have less time to play video games and less time to make videos. Who knows, I may still try to keep that 4-video schedule, though it has been pretty shot up when it comes to schedule. When it comes to scheduling for the past few weeks, it has been just all over the place when it comes to video production. I haven't really been motivated as much. It's sort of dead air a little bit. There's not really been much progress in the way of Forza. There hasn't really been much content, as I said in the previous video. And also, there's not exactly much in the way of Halo. And, well, there is Halo Wars 2, but investing money in it is not an easy task for me. I don't exactly have the money for that. So, I've saved that. Because I did spend my money on a glide cam. But anyway, that aside, this is the R35. I am horrible at drifting right now. I'm not really focusing. I'm just sort of rambling and talking as I'm going. But this is the R35 Black Series GTR R35 drift tune with the giant rocker body wing on the back, wang, whatever you want to call it, giant thing on the back. But anyway, This thing should be in my file share as an R35 drift tune. You can do whatever the hell you want with the drift tune, since I just covered the drift tune. I gave you all the numbers, it's all there. If you want to do whatever the hell you want, you can even run the same tune with a different set of rims if you really want to. Or you can run the Liberty Walk wide body kit if you really want. Though that it may affect the drifting a little bit, because does make the wheelbase a little bit wider, the car's width a little bit wider. But yeah, it should be in my file share as R35 drift tune. If you can't find it in my file share, look up my gamer tag, Icekraks. It'll be there. So yeah, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this Tune Tuesday. Icekraks out.